Hey guys, it's Mike and I am back at Renegade Harley Davidson and we're taking a first look today at the CVO Road Glide in Raven Fade. So this is one of the base colors. You can also get this scorched trim with the Poisonberry, which I just saw in a Street Glide. I'll throw a quick look at that paint here. Even though that's on a Street Glide, that gives you an idea what that looks like. That's a really amazing color too. Probably my favorite for 2025 so far. But we're talking about this Road Glide. So let's talk about what are the features and stuff. These new generations just came out in 23.5, and then of course 24 we got the new generation Street Glides and Road Glides that are very similar, but this is a CVO, custom vehicle operations. So you get added features with this that you do not get on the standard bikes. We're going to talk about what some of those differences are and highlight those for you in this video and talk about the base features of this motorcycle. So the CVOs are the only ones that come with variable valve timing. This is a 121 cubic inch Milwaukee 8. This Milwaukee 8 has 4 valves per cylinder for increased airflow from the liquid cooled heads. It has a higher compression ratio of 11.4 to 1. We also have dual exhaust, and the engine puts out 139 foot-pounds of torque at 3,000 RPM and 115 horsepower at 4,500 RPM. Now that is at the crank and not the rear wheel. Fuel economy for this big bad boy is about 45 miles to the gallon. The clutch is mechanically actuated and not hydraulic. That's a switch Harley made a few years ago to go back to mechanically actuated clutches. All this power runs to the ground through a 6-speed transmission with a final belt drive for low maintenance and reliability. These CVOs with the 121, they're not really intended for a lot of performance upgrades in this motor because it has the variable valve timing, but these bikes come with the absolute best factory suspension that Harley Davidson offers from the factory. Inverted front forks, finely tuned rear suspension. In the front is a 47 millimeter inverted front fork. The rear shocks are dual adjustable emulsion suspension with remote preload adjustment on the left shock and threaded preload on the right shock. Suspension travel is 4.6 inches in the front and 3 inches in the rear. Now this Road Glide in 2025 still has this kind of spoke laced wheel. This is different than what we're seeing on the Street Glide this year in the CVO. They got more of a mag wheel. This is kind of similar to what we saw come out on the Pan America Specials when they first came out with those. This is a spoke wheel essentially that is tubeless. The spokes are outside of the actual rim, so that's how they run that as a tubeless tire. We're going to find Dunlop rubber on the front and rear with the 130, 60, 19 in the front and a 180, 55, 18 in the rear. For brakes, in the front we're going to find 32 millimeter 4-piston calipers, dual brakes, radially mounted. In the back we're going to get a single axially mounted rear brake. We have dual floating rotors in the front and a fixed rotor in the rear. Hey guys, today's video is brought to you by Beyond Riders. I just looked the other day, I've been wearing their gear for over 3 years now. Started out with a flannel shirt, much like this, but a different pattern. We've tried their soft shell shirts. We've tried their mesh shirts in the summer. Been very happy with all their products. Of course, with spring right around the corner, you may be looking for some riding gear. If you are, make sure you check out Beyond Riders for Kevlar-lined armored riding gear. Link in the description down below will save you a few bucks on your next purchase. And again, we want to thank Beyond Riders for sponsoring today's video. The CVOs have all the bells and whistles. The paint has just little things like the orange in the CVO here matches kind of the paint scheme of this bike. Custom seats. Another feature you get on CVOs are like the remote locking saddlebags. Those are really the special things that you see in a CVO that you don't see in the standard models. It's just little things like the orange trim in the heads here and on the pushrod collars to match the floorboards. Those are the kind of the extra things you really find with the CVOs. We could talk about the height and width of this bike, but what really matters is the seat height, which comes in at 26.7 inches. And this bike weighs 827 pounds shipped and 866 pounds in running order. The CVOs also come with the embedded navigation enabled and a Cardo Harley Davidson branded Bluetooth communication system for your helmet. 4-speaker audio systems. We're from Rockford Fosgate. We have 5x7s in the saddlebags and 6.5s in the dash. This new generation Road Glide has turn signals that are integrated into the modern fixed fairing. We have digital gauges that are integrated into the display, which is a TFT 12.3-inch screen running on Skyline OS. You'll find a 15-watt USB-C electric power accessory port in the media storage compartment. The vehicle infotainment center also includes readings for things like air temperature, oil pressure, and TPMS. The CVOs include rider safety enhancements, which include things like straight and cornering anti-lock brake, straight and cornering linked braking, straight and cornering traction control, straight and cornering drag torque slip control, vehicle hold control, and TPMS. We also have ride modes, including rain, cruise, sport, and custom. All right, guys, I want to thank Renegade Harley-Davidson for letting us come in and take a first look at the 2025 CVO Road Glide in this Raven Fade. Now, this is another unique color that kind of fades from a dark to a gray. It has orange accents, so if that's your thing, then you're really gonna like this paint scheme. Of course, like I've said before, the CVOs are all in. Heated grips, all kinds of bells and whistles on this thing. They do price at about $46,000 for the base model, and then can go up depending on paint options and what trim you choose and things like that. But one thing about it, if you drop 50 grand on a CVO, you're probably not going to spend much more on any other upgrades, because this thing comes with great suspension, a great powertrain, lots of power, heated grips, audio, all of that stuff is built into the CVO platform. All right, guys, that's our first look at this new CVO Road Glide here at Renegade. Thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all stay safe, keep on riding, and we'll see you in the next one.